Hey guys, the current artist being featured at NAST Studios is Gary Bauer. He's showcasing 3 different pieces of art, including Bauhaus Toy Boat, Bauhaus Puppet, and How the West Was Won. You can learn more about Gary in the new NAST Artist Spotlight interview.
My name's Gary Bauer. I've been an artist for about 20 years, focused on painting. Started out with acrylics and slowly transitioned to oils.
You can also check out his website at gbauerstudios.com. Now let's get into the episode. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today, my guest is someone I've been trying to have on my show for almost 5 years now. I first discovered him when I saw his music video for his song Day Nuns. I love his aggressive rap style, production, and storytelling. He's dropped 2 albums this year, 15 Minutes of Flame, and the latest one, Turnt Out. It's my pleasure to have on BARZ.
When I was a kid, it was me and one other kid had red hair in the school. Nobody else had red hair, so obviously we're the outcasts of the whites, But but also at the same time,
that's funny. Actually, look at this. I have I took it off. I have a Chucky sweater over there that I was gonna wear.
there it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at the time, Chucky, Problem Child came out, so the stigma on redhead kids being the bad kid was what people ran with. So when I would get in trouble with the little blonde kids or the little brunettes or brown or black haired kids, they'd blame it on me, and the teachers would believe them. So I could kind of see how over time, you would be angry having red hair because of all of these things, and obviously getting picked on.
It's generational trauma.
But I'm not mad. I think honestly, like, all stereotypes are based on some form of a truth or a mass, thing that people think.
Yeah, black people are definitely lazy. And
fuck
they eat watermelon and chicken. I'm just kidding.
I'm saying
for real.
that some things,
for sure.
But as far as being angry for myself, definitely not. Definitely not, bro.
But you definitely give the Tech 9 controlled rage energy, I guess, if that's the right words to use.
I take it as a compliment.
Yeah. And also, from, at least on Spotify, your first album on Spotify was in 2017, but I'm guessing you've been doing it way longer.
Oh, yeah. That. Yeah, especially out in Seattle. If you know, you know. Okay. I started doing things, I'd say probably I'm more on a professional level about 2007.
Oh, shit.
So I had a different name at the time. My name was J BARZ at the time, and I couldn't use it because at the time Soulja Boy signed an artist named J BARZ.
What the hell?
Which I don't know how or why, but
they're non-existent anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know if the dude's out anymore. But so pretty much I couldn't use the name. They copyrighted it, trademarked it, whatever. So I had to take the J off, and then I just ran with that. And then I just pretty much just rebranded myself and just, went a different direction.
Okay. And you're originally from Tacoma.
Oh yeah, born and raised.
Damn. So you don't claim like a Seattle. You wouldn't say you're like a Seattle artist then, or how does that work?
I mean, Tacoma, as far as music, it has a scene, but it doesn't have a scene. We don't have as many outlets as Seattle. So I kind of felt like when I hit all the markets and venues in Tacoma, I was like, I need to get to Seattle.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was already recording in Seattle. So I was like, let me, hit this area more. Honestly, if we're going to be real, I feel like I get more love in Seattle than I do in my own city.
Yeah.
So
I think that's everyone that experiences making music or art or whatever. But
right.
Damn. I had no idea, 2007. So, can I ask how old you are? Some people don't want to.
I'm 41, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, you're like the same age as my stepdad. Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. And then, so what got you into hip hop and as a white guy in Tacoma? Was Eminem like an inspiration or something?
Way before Eminem, man. I was listening to Ice Cube and NWA, Snoop, Dre, just rap. I was just obsessed with rap, something about it. I loved it, I used to take, when CDs were still in, I would take songs off of the CDs that I would had, and I would rip them from those to cassettes so I could make my own, mixtapes or compilations, instead of like, because you'd buy an album and it would be like 2 good songs on it.
Yeah.
So you'd want to be like, well, let me get the 2 good songs and put them on one, with these other good songs that I like. So, I mean, just that, like, just the obsession, I would read the liner notes and just be obsessed with who made the beats and just like, I don't know. I've loved it forever. I'm gonna love it till the day I die.
Yeah, I use like Genius. I don't know if you're on Genius much, but I use that for. It's funny to see like how many credits sometimes people have.
Oh, dude, it's endless. Like, especially the new records, bro.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh my God,
what's going
Drake records, man. Drake has like 32 production credits on a song, and I'm like, damn, dude. Like,
Oh my God.
it's crazy, bro.
So over the years, I feel like you locked in with like a single producer, or do you produce it all? Because like,
I produce most of my stuff.
are you serious?
Oh yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Wow.
at the time, when I first came out, I was working with a lot of local producers and
Yeah.
whatnot. But over time, I just kind of like wanted to start doing it myself. But currently, I'm working with Smoke from Old Dominion.
Okay. Yeah.
Shout out Old Dominion.
Nice.
And me and him have been like producing my records so far, and just like we got a pretty good chemistry with that. So usually like I can make the beats for the most part, but obviously I can't play every instrument,
Right.
like but I can hear it in my mind. So
Yeah.
I just kind of like say hey, like play it like this, or do this, and just like really taking more of a back seat, but still being in the front seat, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
That's crazy because like Washingtonian is the 2017 album, and like from that to your newest album, Turnt Out, right?
Yep.
The production sounds phenomenal. The entire from those chunk of years. And that's what that's
appreciate it,
like
bro.
8 years, almost 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, 7, 8 years.
That's crazy. So like, how many from the newest 2 projects? Because you released 2 projects in like 1 year. That's not really common for you, right?
I did that in 2019.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get a 3rd one before the end of the year.
Oh wow.
Trying to.
Dang.
But I don't know. Like, it just kind of, I don't know. Like, I try to just get into a rhythm. Like, I wouldn't say like try to treat it like work, but more so like it is kind of like work,
For sure.
Like a lot of people like a group environment in the studio. Like, I don't really like that. I like to me and the engineer, producer, and I like to get straight to work, and usually just like most of my albums, it's already mapped out in my brain, and then I just go in there and I'd be like, I want something that sounds like this, or let's do something that sounds like this, and then we just kind of just pump it out.
Nice. So how did the 15 Minutes of Flame come out? It's pretty. I feel like that's a pretty art. Would you say most of your albums are conceptual at all? It seems, at least with the album art, it seems more conceptual than someone posing in front of like some cars or some shit.
Most of them are conceptual. Most
Yeah.
of the time, I have something like, a set out theme to the album, and then I'll just, make songs around the theme. But with the 15 Minutes of Flame thing, the concept was more so based on the time of it
Yeah.
than the actual content. Like, the content of it's all over the place. I'm talking about all sorts of shit, but the actual concept, it came to me just based on like, going on my algorithms and looking at like how long are people listening to my songs, and the average time is about 1.5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's normal for songs and the attention span nowadays. So I was just like, well, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of songs 1 minute, and then at the time when I was thinking of this, it's always weird because something else will come into play. Like, I was thinking of it, and then on the TV, somebody was talking about 15 minutes of fame, and I was just like, 15 minutes of flame, and I was like, I'm gonna make 15 songs a minute a piece, and there you go, like 15 songs 1 minute. But also then I looked at it mathematically. I was just like, your average car ride for a person, whether they're going to the store or a friend's house, to work, is 15 minutes.
Right.
So I'm like, if you can get through this album in 15 minutes, your car ride, then I did my job.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
but I'm getting a big response from a lot more younger people than that. They're really like tapping into it, and they like the concept. So
Yeah.
the volume 2 is on the way.
Ah, hell yeah. Because I've been talking to my friends over the years about like how also supposedly like the shorter albums help with like sending it out to like PR and stuff.
Right.
Because they're more likely to listen to it versus like a 30-minute to an hour long album.
Right.
Like what do you do when do you listen to a lot of music, and like how do you consume media?
I mean, obviously we're all stuck in scroll land,
Yeah.
we're all doom scrolling every day, so
discover a lot of new artists that way. And it just kind of depends. Like if they say like certain shit that I'm like, oh, that's clever, or something,
Right.
I'll definitely go back and check them out. But honestly, like I don't listen to a lot of music, man. I'm too
Ah.
busy making it.
I was going to see if you've been listening to Exhibit's comeback or
I
Ice
did.
Cube's.
I did
Okay.
see a couple clips from that, and that
Yeah.
is kind of cool. Like, Exhibit, man, played a big role for me, man, especially in
Ah.
high school and stuff like that, man. He was just
yeah.
like on it, bro. Like the Restless album to this day is just still fire.
Yeah, 100%. And also, I'm not a huge. I don't like Ice Cube's song that much, the new one, but it's called My Ego or something.
It's all right.
Yeah. It's
It just
very-
doesn't compare to the old shit,
No.
man. It's too, I don't know. Some people like start off really good and then they gradually get, okay.
Mm.
And then some people start off okay and then they just gradually get better and better, so
Yeah.
it just kind of depends,
So from making music since 2007, how do you mark like milestones in your career and like if you're evolving or not,
Honestly, man, like that's a good question. I don't think about that. Like a lot of people reach out to me like with old records that they did and they're like, how come you don't play this or perform this? And I'm just like, it's just like, to me, I was still learning, when I made those records, like, so I was just like trying to figure out who I was, I still, fuck, man, I think right now in this, like maybe the last 5-6 years, I finally figured out who I am, and I just think that like since that, then I can just like talk about those things more, instead of just glorifying things that I may or may not have done or just sound cool or,
Yeah.
like, so I just kind of like, like really talk about my life a lot, just like on everything.
I feel like you give like a lot of like warnings in your songs. And
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
see that from a lot of artists, which I think is maybe a reason why I'm drawn to it because it's like unique in that sense versus glory. I like
Yeah.
I like
Oh,
that
yeah.
you actually literally said like not glorifying like drugs and stuff,
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like the album I just put out, like every single song is based on the mind of an addict. Of and it's not just, you can be an addict with many things in life. You can be an addict with drugs, sex, tons of things that aren't good for you.
For sure.
And I just kind of feel like I'm not going to talk about it if I haven't already done it. And I've done a lot of drugs, so I'm just like, if I can help somebody not go down that path, I will,
What is the number one way to stay away from drugs? Say no.
Oh, shit, man. Do them and find out. No. I fuck, man.
I love that.
Being older, one thing I could say about drugs is most of the time you're doing drugs that are heavy or drugs you probably can't even handle, you're doing it with friends.
Oh, yeah.
And what I had to realize down the road is most of those friends, they're not around no more, So it's just like, don't put yourself in a permanent position when you're having temporary fun, because it's just like, yeah, it's cool for the moment, until some shit happens, And I mean, I've done some crazy drugs, you know what I mean? To where it's just like a lot of those people I was doing it with, they're either dead or in jail or they're fucking perma-fried and, like out of their minds,
Can you break down what perma-fried is? Because I DM'd you and told you that's my favorite song by you. What's the
love
definition of perma-fried for people who don't know?
Perma-fried is just like if you did like a psychedelic type of drug or just like a mind-bending drug to where you just never come back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know like what are the chances of that happening?
A crazy thing, right? In high school, I'm not gonna say his name out of respect for his family, but high school basketball star, man, he had so many scouts looking at him. He went to a party, they laced a blunt. It was with PCP.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that happened to me too.
Yeah.
That's what perma-fried's about.
Yeah.
But same thing happened to him. He went to a party, hit a lace blunt, and now he's walking around Tacoma with a fucking shopping cart full of recyclables and talking to himself, and just he's not even the same person no more.
Damn.
So, and one hit, that's all it took for him.
That's insane. What the fuck? That's scary.
Well, what's weird about PCP, for people that don't know what that is, it is a hallucinogen, but
I used to know Hilltop Crips who would smoke that shit like a normal cigarette, and they'd be just fine.
Jesus Christ. I thought it was like a steroid or something. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't make you like super strong or like.
No.
not
That I think that's like a horse trank or something. But no, PCP is literally like. Have you ever seen the movie Fear and Loathing?
Not yet. It's on my
Please
list.
watch
I
it.
don't know how I haven't watched
Please
it.
watch
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
bro. That will make you never go near PCP or anything close to that. Because when I watched that movie, I was like, this is too accurate.
Damn.
This is way too, like, everything in it was like, this is what happens to you on PCP.
Damn.
You know, and people turn into dinosaurs and fucking just all
That
sorts.
sounds so fun.
Oh, no, dude, no. I mean, hey, you know, it might be fun for you. I don't know. Some people rip their clothes off and run around
Jesus.
naked. Like, some people fucking go into a fucking paranoid trip. Like,
Damn.
my experience with PCP was terrible. It was a very fucking bad experience,
Yeah.
and that's what that song is mainly about, you know?
The house party song or Permafred?
Well, that's Permafried is loosely based around that.
Mm.
So I was at a house party. Somebody laced a blunt. I blacked out, and the reason I blacked out is because I passed out and I face planted, knocked all my teeth out. These are fake,
Holy
you know.
shit.
But it knocked my teeth out, you know. And then, you know, my homies were scared. They thought, oh, we're gonna get arrested. They're like, we gotta go to the hospital, you know. So whatever. Like, there's blood all over the place. I get to the hospital. I don't trip out until I get to the hospital.
Oh my God. That's
So
probably
I'm
one
in
of
the
the worst places you
oh,
want to.
dude, I'm in the waiting room. Nurses are turning into fucking balloon animals and all sorts of crazy shit. And then I'm getting my lip stitched up and whatnot. And then the doctor like is saying the most outlandish shit. Like, it don't even make sense. But then my homie that was there, he was like, he wasn't saying anything.
Oh my God.
You were thinking he was saying that. So then if you watch the movie Fear and Loathing, there's a lot of moments where there's guys saying shit to you and they're not even saying shit.
Damn.
You know? So your brain is creating all these things, you know, and then, the come down was terrible, bro. It was terrible.
That's crazy. And people do this for fun, you're saying?
I mean, I know some hilltops that would literally smoke. They would dip a stick. That's what it's called. You dip your cigarette in that, and they would just smoke it like it was normal, and they would be just fine.
What the hell?
I knew one hilltop, rest in peace to PJ, man. This dude was a video editor, and he couldn't edit videos until he was wet, you know, which is terms for being high on PCP.
That's crazy.
But yeah, he couldn't do anything until he was wet. And then he would just make these crazy bugged out videos and just like hours and hours of editing, and just like he knew exactly what to do. So like I said, everybody's brain is different. Everybody's body makeup is different.
That is insane, though.
Yeah. Insane.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I thought PCP is where like when a cop tries like to shoot you and you'll still like run at them or something.
Oh, I mean, if you're wet, you might try.
Or maybe that's Flocka or something.
Oh, Flocka's a whole different level. Flocka's like PCP 1000, dude. Like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, now it's different now, you know, like even on the album I just put out, Turnt Out, you know, I got a song called Stepped On, which is terms for, you know, having like basically cocaine with, you know, cut with other things. You know, and back in the day, they would cut it with baby laxative, you know? So a lot of people would snort coke and you'd have to take a shit right after that, you know? And that was just baby minor stuff, you know? Now they're cutting it with fentanyl.
So what's the point of cutting? Is cutting just to like, so it's...
Stretch your
spending
product.
Okay.
You know, so it's like if I got if I got a key, you know, a key of coke, then I'm going to, you know, put a little bit extra in there so I could stretch it out and make this key into 2 keys, you know? And then, but... To me, it's the same thing as the food industry. Selling cocaine is the same as the food industry. They pump all our food full of additives and make the chicken bigger and, you know, like all this stupid shit. You know, what's the difference? It's the same thing, you know? So, I mean, everything's cut nowadays. So, but yeah, back in the day, it was always baby laxative or things of that nature.
That is crazy.
Or meth, you know? Oh, yeah. All that, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So from experience, would you say the drug culture in Seattle is pretty insane then? Or
Oh, yeah. I think the first time I tried ayahuasca, I was in Seattle.
What? You could do ayahuasca in Seattle?
I mean, I don't know if it was ayahuasca. That's what they told me it was. But I mean, it felt like a fucking journey.
I thought you had to go to like Peru or some shit.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
Like, there's people paying $5,000 to go spend 10 minutes with a shaman.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, fuck, there was so much shit floating around in Seattle back in the day, dude.
Oh my God, man! The first time I tried BC Bud,
Fuck are these titles?
So BC Bud is basically bud that came from British Columbia,
Okay.
Canada, and it was just the best of the best. If you said you had BC Bud, like you had the top of the top back in the day.
Yeah.
So it was like I smoked that shit, and I thought that I was getting chased by the police.
So you were paranoid.
It was fucking. My heart was racing. Like I was just seeing shit. It was just weird, but it was because my body wasn't used to that amount of cannabinoids coming in. Like, hey, whoa, you're super high. Like, but back in the day, that was the top of the top. If you got BC Bud, you were the king. But.
Damn.
I mean, I don't. It just depends. Like, dude, I've done a lot of shit, man. And then the back in the day, like, everybody, now does Molly, MDMA, but it was just ecstasy back in the day, or doing X, and they would stamp the pills, and that was cut with everything, dude.
Oh.
Meth, fucking heroin, all sorts. It was just a cocktail.
Have you seen the Penguin TV show yet? Oh, you don't watch?
I don't really watch TV. I should though.
Have you heard about it yet?
I've heard about Penguin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
I gotta watch that then.
Yeah.
Is it about that time?
It's about I think it's supposed to be modern, but it's like the Penguin's like, from Batman, he's like a drug kingpin, and they have this thing called bliss that they created, and it's like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like it makes you hallucinate, and like there's this scene, like they spend like a whole episode of like explaining like how people would hand out drugs at like a concert or something, and how there's people with bags and like, there's signs.
That's how it was.
And, yeah.
Well, that's how it was, dude. The handshake,
Yeah.
And you'd get like a little, you get a Molly. But the Blue Dolphins, they would stamp random things on them. The Blue Dolphins were big, but dude, I mean, that was an era, man. That was the whole "this is what it is" era, man. Like, shout out, rest in peace, Mac Dre.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was insane times, bro. Like, and then we didn't know. We had no idea that we were fucking popping meth and heroin and all this shit together, but now it like MDMA and Molly is a lot more pure, so it's like the actual ecstasy itself, instead of like all the additives and what it's cut with.
Damn. Do you think we should like legalize everything, or do you think?
Ooh, how's Portland doing with that?
Oh yeah, they just like...
How they doing?
Yeah, they just recriminalized. I'm pretty sure, right? That's crazy.
I think they did. You're right. Yeah, they recriminalized it.
Honestly, I don't know, man. Like, I could go down a rabbit hole with politics and all this shit, but it's just like, we're just sitting back and watching wrestling right now. That's all we're doing. We're all sitting back and watching the show.
Damn.
So, we'll see what happens next.
So, what is your reasoning for still releasing music after all this time? Is it to like therapy? Okay.
Therapy. It's the best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you like? You go like you're like are you a juggalo? Would you consider yourself a juggalo? Because you did
woo family.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man. I kind of feel like I am, man. Like some juggalos don't want me to be a juggalo.
What?
But, I don't know. But I don't know, man. Coming up, I still feel like the people that show me the most love at shows and just in general throughout my whole career have been juggalos.
Yeah. Because I was asking because your music as an artist, you probably do get some like affirmations or whatever from having people listen to your music and perform. And I'm like going to an event like the Juggalo stuff. That's like
dude,
that's crazy.
You have to go to the Gathering, bro.
The Gathering,
it's life changing. You'll go every year after that. I promise you will.
Even if you're not a juggler, or do you become
your family
changed
at that point?
Yeah,
your family. But honestly, man, like you'll just see the craziest, most bugged out shit, but no one is there on no fuck shit. It's all love. It's all love.
Like
dude.
A rave.
Kind of, but like more like togetherness. Like, so there was a dude at the very first gathering I went to that was running around and selling lay shit to people that had fentanyl in it. Somebody died at the gathering. They found out who it was and they beat the fucking shit out of him. They fucked him up.
So not a rave.
Yeah, no, dude. They literally they found out who it was. They found out who died, and the dude, it was his first gathering too. He brought his wife. It was all bad, But they found the dude, and they curbed that real fast,
Jesus.
And it wasn't like security. It was juggalos trying to find him,
Damn.
But Man, I mean, you might just fuck around, turn to the left, see somebody walking around naked, turn to the right, somebody's over here boofing a fucking Faygo bottle in their butthole, but you know what though? I mean, but it was all love. Nobody was stealing from each other. I mean, you find all that at events and raves
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Nobody was stealing. Nobody
Damn.
was fighting. Nobody was disrespecting anybody. It was all love. The people that get disrespected at things like that are the people that just act too fucking weird for the environment. Like
That seems hard though, right?
Well, when I say weird, I mean like you're just like you got to stick up your ass, you know, like you got a permanent wedgie, you know, and it's just like loosen up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's all good. Like just go with the flow, you know, don't worry about what people are gonna think, or you know, like you can just tell. You can tell when somebody's nervous, you know, and it's just like, dude, like just be you.
Mhm.
And you see all walks of life there.
All walks of life, you know. A lot of people think it's just a bunch of white kids from trailer parks to go, but no, it is everyone, bro. Everyone is there, and everybody's vibing. Everybody,
Damn.
you know. And
I will say, some artists that go on stage, you know, they do get booed and shit thrown at them. But what people got to realize is when they throw shit at you, that means they like you. You know.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, like when you get like, you know, certain thing, like you might get a bottle rocket shot at you or something. You know, you just better hope you're on your shit. You better stay ready. You know.
Oh my
like,
God.
But these are signs that they like you. Now, if you tell them that you don't like that, then they're gonna start throwing shit you don't want at you, like, you know, whatever they can dig out of the porta potty, or you know, just
What the?
oh yeah, then it's all bad for you.
Damn.
I saw Rakim at the last gathering I went
Dang.
to.
That was last year, or was that 2 years?
Last year.
That's crazy.
I performed both times, but the first time I performed with a main stage, not a main stage, but like a secondary stage set, and then the second time I performed with my guy Wildcard there. Shout out Wildcard.
Nice.
But it was Rakim was the only person that I saw there that when he told you to stop throwing shit, they did.
Damn.
They had that much respect for him, and that's like an OG,
For real.
you know, in rap, you know, of all time, you know, and he killed it, by the way.
Nice.
80s rapper getting up there and just murdering it, bro.
That's crazy.
Did Eric B for President, did all the hits, you know, and people loved it, you know, and they actually respected him when he was like, stop throwing shit at me. You know?
Damn.
Yeah, it was awesome.
How do you get invited to perform at the?
I've been trying to get on the Gathering for years, you know, but they finally checked me out. Like, it's hard. It's not easy to get on the Gathering, you know, and they finally checked it out, and they liked what they heard, and then so I guess they got to go through certain chains of command to approve people to perform. But Jump Steady, who is the brother of Violent J, he does the main approving of all that, and I just happened to get chosen.
Do you get to meet all those guys?
I didn't get a chance to meet ICP because they're hella busy. They're running around and stuff like that. But I met a few of the other artists that were there.
Nice.
I met what's that dude's name? Oh my god, he's this big fat dude. He's like an influencer. I can't remember. Gucci Berry. You know who that is?
Berry, no.
He's this big fat old white dude with a mullet who got the Gucci Mane ice cream tatted on his face, and he literally is famous for getting kicked in the nuts, and he walks around in the G-string all day.
What?
That's it. You know. So I met that fool, and I was just like,
Did you kick him in the nuts?
I was trying to, but he had a line of people who were there to kick him in the nuts. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Yeah. Gucci Berry. Look him up. He is hilarious. But yeah, that's all he's known for is getting kicked in the nuts.
That's crazy. Damn, that's wild.
Yeah.
So like right now, are you like managed or anything, or you just handle everything on your own, or?
I'm looking for management.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I handle everything. You know, that's I don't know. Like, I'm just looking for someone who takes it as serious as me.
Yeah.
You know, I take it very serious. You know, and it's hard to find people that want to stick around more than 6 months. People think, oh, 6 months, you haven't blown up yet? Oh,
Right.
I'm done, you know? And it's just like, dude, there's going to be ups and downs to this shit. You know, like 1 month's going to go great. The next month might not, you know? How are you going to bounce back, you know?
Yeah.
But one thing, you know, I could say is, you know, no matter what happens, I always bounce back.
So like, how do you? You've like worked with like Dizzy Wright and Chris Calico, and like your newest album has Butch Cassidy on.
Oh, that was
Like,
awesome.
How do
Butch,
you
wow.
end up working with those types of artists if you're
I
not
mean,
managed? You know, is that just like?
With Dizzy Wright, I actually I was signed to a cannabis company who wanted to start a record label at the time.
From Seattle?
in the Tacoma area.
Okay.
And they made that happen. So I
Nice.
didn't really have much involvement on that. The Chris Calico thing, that song is 10 years old.
Oh,
And
what?
I just re-released it because it never saw the light of day.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, I was doing a lot of touring with Tech Nine and Chris Calico.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So you've met them?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I met all of them. Tech Nine, Calico, Brother Lynch Hung.
Really? Brother? I love
Oh,
Brother
yeah.
Lynch Hung.
Oh, man, legend, man.
Damn.
Yeah, legend. Yeah, Lynch. I've opened for Lynch probably about 3 or 4 times.
What?
Yeah, but with Chris Calico, we did the record, and then I just I didn't really like the beat, it was cool, and I was just like, it needs something new, and so I just redid it, and then we released it.
But you kept the stems?
Oh yeah,
Damn.
I keep everything if I can.
Yeah,
a lot of my songs got lost though.
That's hard
over
for me
time.
just to keep like every video angle after a couple months because they're just such big files. But I'm like,
Bro,
to keep
well,
stems for a while. That's
You better get some external drives.
I
dude.
do. I do.
What's wrong with you, bro?
I have so many, but they're so it's just one video takes up 20 gigabytes or some shit.
Yeah, but
Or
you know
more.
what though, bro? You got to look at it like this. One day you ain't gonna be here,
Yeah.
and one day somebody's gonna have to go through all them archives and make the best of you.
Oh shit. That's a good point.
You know, like you might have a blooper that you didn't even use. It's like, oh shit, that was so funny. We got to put it out.
Ah, that's a good point.
You know, like you got to save everything.
I'm erasing
bro.
my own history. Damn. I got.
I mean,
yeah.
kind of. Yeah, you are.
Damn.
Dude,
yeah.
you
know what?
you have to, bro. You got to keep it all,
Ah,
man.
shit. That's a good
You
point.
never know, man. Like when you get kids one day, what if they
Yeah.
want to watch all that shit, man? You don't know.
Ah,
You got to keep it, bro.
you heard it here first from BARZ. I'm gonna do that.
Bro, yeah, you
Yeah.
got to keep dude, there's so many songs that I lost. I remember moving one time, I lost a whole bunch of songs in a flood, man.
Oh shit.
And I could never get those back. Granted,
Yeah.
I might not release them, but it would be good to go back and say, this is where my head was at when I made this, Just like to reflect for yourself,
Yeah.
But, gee, man, keep it all, bro. Keep all of it, man.
Yes, I want to work on that. Damn. So how did you connect with strange music then? That's
Man, so...
And this is how I got a lot of love from the Juggalos.
Yeah.
There was a group at the time signed to their label called Twisted,
yeah.
and Twisted had a show at Studio 7 back
Okay.
in the day,
Hmm.
and their opener dropped out last minute. And he hit me up. He was like, "Hey, you want to come perform for the Juggalos?" And I was like, "Let me see." And it was literally like 45 minutes before we could get there. I'm like, I'm in Tacoma. It takes 45 to get there.
Yeah.
So we finally get there. First 10 minutes, they're booing the fuck out of us. Like, fuck you, boo. But we kept going. And by the end of the set, they loved us. We were there for hours and hours, and
Damn.
it was just a great experience. So after that, then I got a manager, Ryan Kovacic. Shout out Ryan, on a mission, man. Wake up and smell the hip hop. If you know, you know. But so he was getting me involved with El Corazon, which did a lot of the Juggalo and strange music shows, and then I started getting those shows, and then that got me on shows with Ice Cube and Snoop, and
Damn.
yeah, it was a whole time frame, where I've opened for people I've grown up listening to, but so then I opened for Tech, I think three times, I think, and then they put me on one of Calico's tours. He had a 5-city run.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it was more so local stuff and stuff like that. Out
Yeah.
of Portland. I opened for Tech in Portland.
Nice.
Spent a lot of time with them out there. They're bigger in Portland than they are in Seattle.
Really, and they come to Seattle all the time.
Oh, they do. But in Portland,
Wow.
when we were with Tech out there, they literally, Tech ended up, he had wanted to go do some other stuff privately or whatever, which is fine. But they ended up having a limo pick up his whole crew, all of us, took us to all these strip clubs, literally took us to these after parties all night long. It was insane. It
Damn.
was nuts.
But no feature ever came from any of that from Tech or.
I can't afford it, man.
Ah.
Tech's an expensive guy, man.
Damn.
You want to do a song with Tech, I think it's 10.
Damn. See, what are the when is it usually when people end up doing it for free? Is are friendships like that actually that?
Butch Cassidy
Rare.
pretty much did it for free.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. So how do you
Yeah.
know? How'd you meet Butch?
So making the album, this is a pretty West Coast type of feel.
For
I
sure.
kind of wanted to resurrect that whole era of rap, with production wise. So I was just going through all the names of people that I felt just kind of didn't get their their moment in the sun, you know, like so many like supporting characters during that time that just I felt like they didn't get their just due, like
Mm.
Obi Trice or
Yeah.
Butch Cassidy or Hitman.
Yeah.
Like Hitman was all over 2001.
For sure.
You know, I reached out to him. We talked for a while.
Nice.
Couldn't make it happen. He was too busy. But then Butch Cassidy responded, and Butch Cassidy was like, "Call me." I was like, "All right."
Okay.
Like normally I don't get that, you know. So he was like, "Call me," you know. And I was like, I talked to him for like an hour.
Damn.
And you know, he's telling me all the stories behind all the classic records he was on, how they were made. You know, to me, the inner kid in me is just like going crazy because I'm like, I'm talking to Butch Cassidy, you know, and he listened to me and he liked my stuff, and then he jumped right on it.
Damn.
Recorded at Death Row Studios, you know what I mean? Like
Wow.
that shit was crazy, bro. Like I'm still geeked about
Yeah.
it, you know. But yeah, Butch Cassidy, good people, man.
Nice.
Good people.
Yeah, but no, you didn't think about like cocaine at all, or have you worked with cocaine before?
Cocaine lives in Tacoma.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
to their spot. in
Yeah,
the-
no, I thought about it.
or
but-
Leviticus Black. Have you know?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen Leviticus' studio too.
Hmm.
I think it's called Time Out, right?
Something like that. That's been
Yeah.
a few years, but yeah.
Yeah, I was there a few times. But cocaine, like I've known cocaine for a long time, man. I've opened for him a few times. I think it was just more so like I love cocaine and I love his contributions.
Yeah,
But I also feel like a lot of people out here have songs with him.
that's his. That's his whole freaking slogan or whatever. That the most featured
Right.
artist or whatever.
Right. So
Yeah.
I just kind of felt like if I do a song with cocaine for this album, it's
Yeah.
just going to be a song in the sea of songs with cocaine,
Yeah,
as opposed to let me try to find somebody that we haven't heard in a long time, you
Yeah.
know? And I just felt like Butch Cassidy was one of them ones that was just like
Nice.
he had that undeniable voice, you know?
yeah, hell yeah. And did you do like a album release show or anything, or
Not really, man.
what?
To me, I don't know, like if there was more of a demand for what I'm doing out here, I would do it, but I get more of a demand in other places,
Yeah.
you know?
What do you think Seattle's, from someone who's been making music for so long, what do you think Seattle's like audience is here?
Seattle's the toughest crowd.
Yeah.
Out of every state, city I've ever performed my whole life is the toughest crowd to make happy, for sure.
And that's even without like all like the tech people and stuff moving in? Has it always been like that? Or?
Just in general, yeah. Like it's just a tough crowd. Like if you can win over a Seattle crowd, you can win anybody,
Damn.
hands down.
Huh.
And honestly, like I have a science to it. Like, you know, a lot of the people that live here are not from here.
Right.
And when I say the people that live here, I mean like their parents. Like this is a transplant state, you
For
know,
sure.
for the most part. A lot of people came here from the military, you know, and they were stationed at Fort Lewis, and then they end up building their families here.
For sure.
You know, so to me, it's like a mixing pot of people from all over. Like my family's originally from Louisiana,
Okay.
you know, but
Are you from? But you were born here.
I was born and raised Tacoma.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, but like growing up in Tacoma, I'm grateful because it is one of the most diverse cities in America. You know, like I remember sending pictures of me and my friends to family on the East Coast, and they just thought Samoans were big Mexicans. And I'm just like, no, they're Samoan. This is an actual thing. Like this is not what you think, you know, but like just like all sorts of different walks of life, you know, Chamorros, Samoans, Filipinos, you know, the Korean people, Vietnamese people, you know, black, white, brown, you know, like I grew up with all of those people, you know, so I feel like if I didn't have that experience in my life, you know, I might have looked at the world in a bubble,
Right.
you know, but I just kind of felt like, but as far as musically as a scene, most of the people out here are followers. They don't give a fuck about you until you're already on,
Right.
you know, and then like, once the world embraces you, now we can embrace you, you know? So I had a line a long time ago. I said, what did I say? I'm from a city that's scared to co-sign, but if you make it, they'll be like, we was there the whole time.
Day nuns.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that line was from another song I did with King Lee's back in the day.
Okay.
And the reason that's funny you bring that up. The reason I put that line in that song is because Louis liked that line
Okay.
from a song. And I was like, you know what? That was a bar. You know, so I was just like, let me resurrect this line and say it again. You know, so if Louis would have never said that, I wouldn't have put that in that song. Shout out Louis.
Shout out Louis. Damn. So like nowadays, are you like interested in still making like a community and working with new people, or is it like you said, is it more just like you know the people you're working with You got a
I
good
don't know.
sound, like you make good music. I don't know if it's like as necessary, but
I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
I do want to work with people from time to time, but I just kind of feel like there's too much politics. There's too many politics with things, People just like, oh yeah, well he knows my baby's mom, or oh, I went to school with her, or oh nah, he's too old, or ah, he's too young. It's just always something stupid,
yeah.
And it's just like, let's just make the music, man. Like, who gives a shit about clout or, what you have, what you don't have, who you know? It doesn't matter. If two people can come together and their sounds would sound good together, just do it,
Right.
But I just feel like the politics sometimes get, in the way of that a little bit too much, So I kind of just like, I don't know, like, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't,
Yeah.
So.
What keeps you in Seattle then? Or Tacoma,
I
Pacific
mean,
Northwest, I guess.
fuck, man, I love home, man. I love
Yeah.
home. I love Seattle too, though, man. Like, I got a lot of people that I got genuine love for out here, that I've known for years, and plus the food, man. I mean, come on, bro. The food in Tacoma and Seattle is just amazing,
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's home,
Fair enough. What do you do for work, by the way? I have no idea.
Oh, I'm in the cannabis industry.
So that's your whole thing. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'm in the
cool.
cannabis industry, but I've had ups and downs in the cannabis industry, when I first got into it, I just saw a lot of things I didn't like, and a lot of things going on where I was just like, maybe I shouldn't be around all this,
Yeah.
But then now I got a chance to restart that, and I'm working with some good people that, have a mission.
Walter White.
Yeah,
Jesse
right.
Pinkman.
Right. He's got this blue rock candy that makes all the girls wild.
I'm dead. Oh my gosh. Well, this has been super fun. I wish we had more time,
No worries.
Is there anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here, though?
Man, I mean, to anyone listening and watching, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to just listen to my stuff or even give it a chance. Most people make music their whole lives and no one listens. So the simple fact that I still have people listening to me all these years later, I'm grateful, and I appreciate every moment. I appreciate every view, every follow, everything.
Heck yeah. Well, I will say I am a super fan of you, so for you to
Appreciate
finally
you,
come
bro.
on.
Super
I-
fan of you, bro.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Watch damn near every episode.
Hey, thank you. I really appreciate it. But yeah, since 2019, seriously, I've been following all you. I know that's even making music before that, but that's when you
Hey.
came onto my radar. And, I've shown friends and family. And
Hell yeah, bro.
every single music video, you kill it.
Oh, I got one coming, man. I can't wait.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
Fuck yeah. So where can people find you? Remind people your most recent 2 albums that you've released.
Last one, 15 Minutes of Flame. It is 15 minutes long. Take 15 minutes of your day and just play it. Just give it a try. And then after that, the most current album I just dropped is called Turnt Out. It is about a white boy that just, fell into a vortex of gangbang culture and drugs and alcohol and all the great things in life,
Hell yeah. So this is your camera. This is mine. This has been the NAST podcast with
BARZ.
And we did it.